And it's time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the ranting monkey, the best monkey, the only monkey you should have in your lives. Hi, guys. Hope you're well. I'm uh I was gonna tell you I was good. I'm a little bit sore and I'm really, really tired. I think my sinuses are just causing an issue. I've spent about 30 of the last 48 hours in bed and asleep for most of that, just exhausted. But I got to see two of my granddaughters today, and we celebrated my son's birthday today, so it was a good day. And I'm getting ready for the stream. Like, I know I'll run to the restroom. Well, we don't keep the hallway light on, and I never turn it on at night when I leave my room because my bedroom is right next to this office, and we keep the door open so Phoebe can get in. And it's dark, but I can see because there's a light down at the end of the hall that shines down without blinding my wife with the hallway light. I'm very adept at moving in this environment. I just walk out and I make a right and I'm in the bathroom. No big deal. I've done it probably 100,000 times since we moved here. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but a lot. I've done it a lot. Today, for some reason, I walk out and I actually blame Steve Shives for this because I was just watching a Steve Shives video and thinking about it and not paying attention to what I was doing. So I ended up going a step or two too far. So when I made my turn to go into the bathroom, instead of turning into the bathroom, I turned into the bathroom door frame. And now the whole left side of my body hurts. I am a disaster, you guys. I'm just a fucking disaster. But otherwise, I'm well. I'm pretty good. Just tired. Just tired. I played soccer today. I haven't played soccer since I was a child. But I got the girls a soccer net for when they come over and a soccer ball. And the little one wanted to go out and play, the oldest of my son's children. And so I went out with her and she's kicking the ball into the net. And then she goes, "You be goalie." And I'm like, all right, I can be goalie. You just got to stand there as goalie. And she's a little girl, so I'm not going to block all the shots. I'm not an asshole. Okay, yeah, I can be goalie. So she comes running at me and she kicks the ball and I block it the first time and she kicks it again and it gets in. I'm like, there you go, good job. And then she goes, "Okay, my turn to be goalie." I was like, what now? Um, yeah. So I played soccer. I kicked the ball for her, and she's not okay with me just standing there and kicking it. I had to actually, move around and stuff because she wants the real experience. I gotta learn to tell these girls, no, grandpa hurts. Oh yeah, over my dead body. She was happy. We had a good time. I'll pay for it later. It'll be fine. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And she'll forever have the memory of grandpa playing soccer with her, which is what I care about more. Anyway, we're here to talk about people who apparently don't like children. Oh, so many things to talk about today. I even had a good time on Twitter. I had a couple of really good conversations over there. Me and Jim Healis were talking about property tax, which we'll get to later. And it was a good discussion. It was just a great discussion. It was fun. And then there's the guy we're going to talk about who, Jesus freaking Christ. So the setup for this is I don't know this guy. I don't know who the fuck he is. What I have learned about him is that he is a radio host at an AM radio station. I think it's sports related. None of that matters, though. None of that matters. Where's Jack? I have no idea, dude. This asshole on the screen, this is how it all starts. What you're seeing on the screen is how this whole thing starts. He says this was a hell of a fight, and he posts a picture of himself holding up a pike. Now, you might think, wow, monkey knows his fish. I don't. Somebody in the comments mentioned it. I don't know shit about fish. I know goldfish. I know fish tank stuff. I know like mollies and that kind of shit. I don't know real fish worth of shit. Anyway, somebody says, "Wow, man, fatty. Wow, man, fatty." I don't know if the fatty is referring to the fish or him because later he gets called fat again. But Will you eat that? I was surprised to find out how good fresh pike tasted. And that's how I knew it was a pike. I'm just saying. And somebody says walleye is amazing. And this is where the trouble starts. Not the walleye, but the response to the walleye. Greg here says, LOL, that isn't walleye. That is a female. Oh, hang on. Somebody was just asking this. So I will bring him in now that he's here, if my mouse will cooperate. Hey, Jack, how you doing, my friend?
Hi, Monkey. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Windows decided to update and then create a password on my computer that I didn't know.
Nice.
Yeah, that was not pleasant.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, good to be here. What's going on? What a miss.
We just started the story. We're talking about, let me go back so you can see it. The unhinged motherfucker on your screen right now. He is an AM radio host somewhere.
Sure he is.
He is. And the only thing that I do know about him, or at least that I was told about him, is that they've had trouble keeping a co-host with him because he's just a douche to him.
Oh.
Yeah. His name is Dan Bernstein, and Dan here is a douchebag. Like, of the worst order, Jack.
Oh, so he's a lefty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
All right. So what happened so far is he makes this announcement that he caught this fish, and somebody says walleye is amazing, and that's where you came in. This guy says, LOL, that's not a walleye. That is a female northern pike that was getting ready to spawn, but instead Dan killed it and seems proud of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't look like a walleye.
Although I'm against all the environmental nonsense out there, I do believe in conservation, and there are times you should not be fishing for pike, like in their spawning season.
Yeah. Does he ever permit for that?
And I don't much care about the fishing aspect of it, but you really should. When fish are spawning, you shouldn't be fishing for them because otherwise we run out of fish.
Well, it's illegal too.
So Dan responds, what the entire fuck is wrong with you? It was released successfully. Took off like a torpedo. Go fuck yourself.
Wasn't that blood all over its neck?
Oh, hang on. You're getting ahead of us.
Oh.
Greg responds, with that dried blood on the gills? Sure it did, Dan. LOL. Or liar, sorry is what he said. And this is what we're talking about. We'll go back to the other picture for just a second. I didn't even notice it when I first saw this, but yeah, there's definitely blood on the gills here. So if this fish did swim away, it died pretty quickly thereafter.
Right.
If it swam away, it did it on instinct before going belly up. Although fish don't really go belly up, they go side up. Bloop. All right. To which Dan says, like a shot, I never respond to trolls, but questioning my sportsmanship and conservation awareness sets me off. Want to fight? I'm a bad enemy, fucker.
What a fight. Oh, little big man complex there.
It's funny you say that. You keep getting ahead of the story.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I just was picturing that chicken hawk from the Foghorn Leghorn cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Go away, son. You're bothering me.
Greg says, you're a 5'7", 165-pound fat boy. You really worry me as a bad enemy. By the way, your language continues to give you away as a very base, juvenile person.
He's right.
To which Dan says, where you at? I have your address and phone number. Want it all public? Do I worry you yet? All right, so now we get to the point where Danny here, a public figure in the radio industry apparently, is threatening to dox somebody because he called him out over the blood on the gills of that pike. He's going to dox this guy over that.
Wow. Hey, something's going on outside of here.
Sure. We're going to wait for Jack. I know it's on the screen and you can read ahead if you want to, but don't. Thank you, Adebisi. Ha ha ha. Biden complex. Yes. Well, fight fat. I bet I can do more push-ups than you, dog face pony soldier. This is unhinged, right? It's not just me. What we read so far, jumping to doxing, that seems a bit disproportionate to what's happened so far. And Dan says he says not a bit. I'm very transparent about where I live. And this is where Dan really goes off the rails. Want your kids involved? Uh-oh. What just happened there? Oh, sorry. There was something came through with the chat that said that I couldn't respond and I wasn't even trying to.
I blame older boys.
Anyway, Jack, did you this is where we go to. The guy says, I'm not really scared of you giving out my address, to which Dan responds, want your kids involved.
That's really douchey. First of all, how does this guy have his address and phone number?
Oh, well, Greg here says he's not sure. He's very transparent about where he lives, so he probably just did a quick search and found it.
Look, people that are that transparent generally aren't worried because they probably own a lot of guns.
Yeah.
Or they're crazy.
How do you get to the point where you're threatening children online, children who aren't even involved? It's not like he was talking to the kid and threatened the kid. He's talking to the dad and asks, want your kids involved?
Typical leftist behavior, though. They go for the weak spot. They're like big commie sharks, aren't they? They're willing to kill anybody in their path to get what they want and to prove that they're superior.
He then goes on to say, up to you. And then the other guy stops responding to him. So he says, just say, I'm sorry for being a dick and I'll stop.
Oh, fuck off.
Apologize for being a dick and I'll stop threatening your children.
Yeah. Dan here's a public figure, so it'd be easy to find out his info. It's probably a really bad plan as a public person to go around threatening people you don't know. Even if you have their information, you don't know how stable that person is. Maybe he just lost his wife and kids, through a messy divorce or a drunk driver. Do you really want to chance this guy might be a psycho?
I hear all of that. I do. But before we ever get to that point, where do you start threatening kids?
Oh, it's because he's a lefty scumbag. That's why.
But before you ever get to, wow, if I say this, he might shoot me. Maybe it should be, wow, maybe I shouldn't say that because it's a really douchey, horrible thing to do.
Well, that's the problem with being a douchebag is you don't know where those lines are because nobody ever calls him on it. Nobody ever, this guy's probably never been in a real fight. So he doesn't know that's a really stupid move to threaten someone's kids like that indirectly even. Want to get the kids involved? Dude, you say that to the wrong person, they're going to hunt you down. It's stupid.
Thank you, understatement. Is this a pike or not? Goo goo gaga. Answer the question. I have no idea how you get this unhinged. And you're right. If this was me and his boss would be talking.
Yeah.
In person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He just threatened your children. And I would have a real problem with that. It's one of the reasons I'm glad I don't have kids. Because, I do not know how I would respond to that.
Yeah.
This guy's obviously got like a track record being an asshole and getting away with it. Well, he probably has doxed people in the past. I bet if you looked hard, you could find some people he extorted this way before. But he's going to find the wrong person, and it's going to end poorly for him because people don't put up with this shit anymore. Oh, I'm telling you, the left is pushing people way too hard.
If this was me in Minecraft, I would actually find this guy and beat his ass for that.
Oh, absolutely. Because Minecraft is a delightful game.
In the real world, I'd talk to his boss.
Yeah, probably a good lawyer as well.
Yeah. Danger says this guy has trouble keeping a co-host. Shocking, right? Look
Yeah,
how fast he blew up over this, but we're not done yet. Hang on.
there's more to this shit.
Yeah. He says, I guess your cowardly silence, you just threatened children and you're calling somebody cowardly? For real? Anyway, I guess your cowardly silence is, I'm sorry for being a dick. Cool. You MAGA scum are so lame.
That says you mega worms.
Sorry, worms. My bad.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
MAGA.
so he didn't get the response he wanted, so he inferred it. So case closed. Nope. He's got to insult him even further.
What part of the, and look, maybe they have a history. I don't know. But what part of this had anything to do with MAGA?
I don't know.
There was nothing political in there.
No, it's like this guy's got some kind of death wish. Like, seriously, how arrogant are you that you think you could just insult random strangers and indirectly threaten their children? And you think that that's not going to go poorly for you?
Dan isn't done, though. Dan's not done because somebody else responded to Greg, to something that Dan had already responded to. This goes back to Greg calling our friend Dan here a fat midget. And Mike pipes in, says, and you're a decrepit old man. What's the end goal here? It looks like you won in life. Fuck off to leisure activities. To which Dan says, oh, you're still antagonizing? This will end poorly for you in ways you are not considering.
He knows this is a different person, right?
Again, maybe there's some history here, and this guy is like one of Dan's tormentors. I don't know.
Maybe Mike is, but Greg the interaction didn't really give me the impression that they've actually interacted before.
You can't say things like this will end poorly for you in ways you're not considering. See, this goes to your point about you're threatening this guy at this point.
Oh yeah. And again, you don't know these people. If you're going to threaten someone, make sure you know a little bit about them, and if you have a pretty good idea how they're going to respond, especially if you're a public figure and people can find out where you live.
Granola, thank you, says Dan's auditioning as a Temu villain for Taken 4. I don't know what Dan's doing here.
I can tell you what he's doing. He's trying to act like that shock jock in the 80s that got himself shot in the parking lot. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They did a movie about it, talk radio or something like that.
Adabisi, thank you. He added the MAGA thing to call up backup a bit. No, I think he was trying to he thought he'd own the guy. I threatened him into backing down. Now it's going to surprise you, Jack, but Dan took this off his page. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, hold on. Let me find my bag of shock.
So
his boss told him to take it down. That's what happened.
Dan here is smart enough to take it down, but he wasn't smart enough not to do it in the first place.
Well, he seems like a hothead, so he'll do it again in the future too. Don't worry.
Now, I didn't bring that up just to laugh at this fucking retard, although we all should.
Yeah, it was fun.
There was. I really wish Medicare had been involved in this because it would have been so much more fun. Because remember when that chick tried to do that to him over the whole Kilroy thing? And you're like, go ahead, bitch, try it. Do something. I dare you. And that's how you deal with somebody like that. Or in Minecraft. But there was something else I saw today, Jack, that really annoyed me. Because the left, they're deranged. We know that, right? They have been running around trying to firebomb Tesla dealerships because they've decided they don't like Elon Musk. And a sitting senator made this video.
Hey folks, Mark Kelly here in Washington, driving to work for the last time in my Tesla. I bought this thing, I didn't think it was going to become a political issue. Um,
It shouldn't be a political issue.
No, it's a car.
When
It's
I
not
ho-
like Elon Musk was on the assembly line and hand built that.
when you bought it, it was a political issue. You were doing it for your environmentalism. Look how environmentally friendly I am.
Yeah, it's like the Prius people. Like, oh, I care more than you do. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Bunch of fucking fart huffers.
Yeah. Exactly.
He released this today. The firebombing of Tesla dealerships has been going on for like the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And this is a sitting senator coming out basically in favor of that.
Well, yeah.
You're literally siding with terrorists here, motherfucker.
Oh no, they're on the right side of history. See, if you think you're righteous, it's a holy effort to do it then. And that makes it appeasing God, so that's above all else. If you can couch it in some sort of religious fervor, or in this case communism, because that's a secular religion, then you can never be wrong because you are doing it for a greater good.
Yeah, you can say all that if that's how he's thinking. And in reality, he's supporting the terrorists.
Absolutely.
Every time I get in this car in the last 60 days or so, it reminds me of just how much damage Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to our country.
To the bloated bureaucracy that fraudulently wastes our money and abuses us. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome, isn't it? I'd get a boner every time I got in my Tesla.
You every time you get in your car, you think about how bad Trump and Elon are. And you're saying this in the midst of the firebombing of Tesla dealerships.
Yep. A lot of people that have nothing to do with Elon Musk that just work at the dealerships or help, assemble the vehicles. They don't actually know Elon. They're hurting because of this crap. There's people losing their livelihoods over this.
Somebody's going to get killed.
Oh, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
We are moving back to the weather underground bullshit.
Oh yeah,
And
they want that though. They think of the revolution as this glorious thing. They don't care who they hurt, and they don't think they're going to get hurt.
I don't. Fuck them.
Yeah.
His reasoning for being like this means absolutely nothing to me. Because he's going to get people killed.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. See, that's why everybody else has to care. Because the people that are doing the damage, they don't give a shit who they hurt. In fact, they'll celebrate it because they're fighting the fascists.
At least with the weather underground, nobody at the time in the sitting senator was like, these are the right people. And while this pussy doesn't have the balls to just say that's what he thinks, he's still virtue signaling to terrorists.
Yeah, which gives them a form of legitimacy, at least in their own circles.
This motherfucker should be brought up on treason charges.
Absolutely, aiding and comforting the enemy.
You swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you piece of shit.
Earlier today, I saw something Jesse Kelly said that is kind of related. If we don't start seeing people arrested from within the government and thrown in jail, we're never going to get our country back. It's never going to get any better. This type of shit is going to get a lot worse.
Talking about slashing Social Security, cutting healthcare benefits for poor people.
You had no problem when Nancy Pelosi did the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but they're not going to cut things for like the super poor or the disabled or the seniors. That's all scaremongering bullshit.
Well, they have been. You're right, because what Elon was talking about was cutting it for illegals. We watched the clip.
Yeah.
But Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, even Biden, all of these people have been on camera before talking about the need to cut Social Security, that something has to be done. And none of these assholes said anything. Not a fucking word about it. But now that Elon, who has no real power to do that in the first place, they're like, how dare somebody say these words out loud?
Yeah, how dare they be honest about how everything is a house of cards these days?
I showed the other day that retard, Slutnik or Slutkin here in Michigan, where she said, Elon said the quiet part out loud. Where he didn't say what she said, he said.
Yeah, she's stupid.
But there's a clip of Nancy Pelosi literally saying what she said, he said.
Always blame your enemy for what you're doing.
No, she had no problem with that.
For seniors, it's one bad thing after the next. He's firing veterans. I'm a veteran.
I love it. He's firing veterans. From what job? From what job?
Shut up. Stop noticing things.
You should never lose your job if you're a veteran.
Yep.
Ever.
Never, ever. Nope, never.
Bill Burr is hand in hand with these nut jobs. Yeah, Bill Burr is just losing the plot, man. He's gone mainstream, so he has to suck the Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel dicks.
Apparently.
You got to do that if you go mainstream. And he doesn't have the testicular fortitude that Patrice O'Neill has. He's just an asshole who can be funny at times. So he's playing to the left because that's where his paychecks come from.
Yeah, he sold out.
Yeah.
Like a bitch.
So I have a really hard time driving around in this thing. So I think it's time for an upgrade today. So this is going to be my last trip in this car. There were some things I really liked about it. There are things I didn't like about it, but that doesn't matter.
Are we doing a review? What?
He switched into a Tesla review.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of the money raised over his wife getting shot paid for that car. That's not a cheap car, man.
No, it's not. Teslas are very expensive.
Yeah, and that's not the bottom of the line model that senator's driving.
Oh, like a plebeian? I don't think so, good sir.
I never thought Bill Burr was funny. I think he's funny.
He can be, but he's lost his edge quite a bit because now he's a pussy.
What matters is, doing the right thing. I think it's time to get rid of it.
Okay, all right. You're going to get rid of it. That's doing the right thing. What did you accomplish with this? Don't they already have your fucking money? You already bought the car or had your lease agreement, which if you break it, you still have to pay the extra. Either way, they already got your money.
Do you see that in the clouds behind him? It's the virtue signal.
This is right up there. And somebody on Twitter pointed, just like when the right wing went out there and I'm burning my football jerseys or I'm going to blow up all of this Bud Light. You already bought it.
They're just laughing at you now.
You're not hurting them by now. If you say I'm not going to buy any in the future, okay, maybe that, a boycott. All right. But I'm going to destroy the shit I already paid for.
That's just dumb.
Win, I guess. Good job.
Elon Musk kind of turned out to be an asshole. Yeah.
Elon Musk has always been an asshole. It's part of his charm.
Yeah, he's a fun asshole. Like the Beamers and Medicare.
Thank you, Corey, who says this reminds me of when Milano switched to a VW.
Yeah. She's so dumb.
Did you see the one with Chelsea Handler?
No, I try to avoid that dumb bitch.
I don't go out of my way to find her. I was watching somebody who talked about it. She got rid of her Tesla, and she announced it the other day. Getting rid of my Tesla, and she actually shows them coming to pick it up and take it away. Except you can tell from the foliage that was like 6 months ago.
Probably got repoed.
So she's out there virtue signaling that she's like, look, I'm standing up to Elon, when she did it a long time ago and didn't say shit about it.
Katie said, heard this guy cheats on his wife who got shot in the head 15 years ago. Maybe he's swinging with JF Garapi. So, because they're both potato fuckers. Oh, too soon?
All right. So Elon's an asshole.
And I don't want to be driving a car built and designed by an asshole.
So, never getting a Ford, huh?
For the record, Elon didn't build or design Teslas.
Hate fact.
Does he think Elon is on the fucking assembly line? They're
Yeah,
assembled by robots.
They act like Elon is personally building his car.
Oh my God, dude. I can't wait to see what he gets. How much you want to bet that whatever he gets is like half made in China?
Watch it be a Mitsubishi. Oh, from the people that brought you kamikaze planes. Good job.
It's just amazing to me. Like I'm gonna show everybody how great I am by not having this car anymore. You're a good person, Mark. You're a great person, you fucking piece of shit.
Idiot.
This guy is a horrible person. He really is. But he was an astronaut, you guys.
What do you fucking do?
He was an astronaut. He was in the Air Force. Yay. Elon's an asshole, so I can't drive a car built and designed by him. Well, lucky for you, the car you're driving wasn't. Elon is an incredibly smart guy, but as far as I know, he doesn't have any kind of experience actually designing a car.
Even if he does, I mean, I doubt he's doing that anymore. He tends to hire people to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, he works with engineers who do that.
Yeah, he's like Edison. He farms it out to underlings.
Oh my God.
Oh, real fast. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
Thank you, Ed of BC. Is it burning a Tesla good for Tesla? Because then there's less in the market? Yes. Yes, they already have your money, and now there's a rarity of them. So now they're more expensive. And you just probably polluted the environment pretty considerably.
As dumb as it is, him getting rid of the car, what really bothers me about this is the virtue signaling to terrorists.
Yeah.
Every member of Congress should be calling this guy out for this. Every member of the media should be calling this guy out for this. You are virtue signaling to terrorists.
And also, I'm not super familiar with DC. I've only been there like twice, but isn't he parked in the road?
It looks like he's parked in a.
That looks like a crosswalk right there.
In a parking lot. Let's see. There's a crosswalk right in front of it.
Yeah.
But there are parking lines here. What bothers me is you should be able to see this entire line right here, and you can't because this motherfucker is parked in 2 spaces.
Well, he's special, don't you know? It's probably handicapped too.
Is the back? Can we see the back? Oh no, he doesn't go that far over. But yeah, he's got this parked there. You should be able to see that line all the way.
Nope. The lines are for winners.
Maybe that's why he's getting rid of the Tesla. He can't park it right.
I think the next Tesla model should be called the Patriot.
That would be awesome. Look, I'm not a big fan of electric vehicles. I mean, they're fine, I suppose. They're horrible for the environment. So if you're doing it for your environmental consciousness, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide. They involve a lot of rare earth minerals that are basically strip mined in Africa by child slaves for China because China has cornered the market almost exclusively on rare earth minerals, which is why we were trying to strike that deal with Ukraine.
Yeah. Don't virtue signal to terrorists. The left, look, if some rando, not even a radio host, Jack, just some rando on Twitter who had MAGA in their bio tweeted to anybody, hey, want to get your children involved? That shit would be front page.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be
That
talked
shit would
about
be,
on every channel.
yeah. If somebody goes outside an abortion clinic and just says, hey, you shouldn't get an abortion, front page. Firebombing Tesla dealerships, I mean, they kind of have a point about Elon, right? It's amazing the way that the left is being treated and getting away with this fucking horrible, violent behavior.
But they've been doing that for years now and getting away with it.
Sure.
They've been endorsing terrorism and terrorist activities for well over a decade. They were doing this shit under Obama.
They toned it down a bit under Biden. Not much, but some. And as soon as Trump got elected again, of course, we started seeing the bullshit fire back up. And the media has been talking for 4 fucking years about the horrible violence that day, that horrible, worse than 9/11, worse than Pearl Harbor Day, January 6th. The violence, the political violence.
Oh my God, the violence.
Bad for our democracy.
Like 5 police officers died that day and 4 unicorns were murdered.
Oh my God. I think I saw my favorite mistelling of the police officers the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yes, because now all 6 died of suicide. That's what somebody said. And it was some, I think it was a news or a politician, I forget who it was, but they're like, really? Something the left did, and really? Did that lead to 6 police officers killing themselves? It's only
right.
5. The other one died of his genetic malfunctions.
Yeah, look, stroke is pretty horrible way to go, to be
Yeah.
fair. But at the same time, like it was obviously a suicide stroke. He was very clever about it. How did MAGA convince all these cops to kill themselves like days later, weeks later?
Months, several of them were like 6 to 8 months later.
Yeah, like what were the MAGA people just harassing them and like sending them secret messages through their TVs and shit? Like, what kind of brainwashing, hypnotic superpowers does MAGA have?
Speaking
Trump's
of that,
like, you're very sad. You're the most sad you've ever been. You're so sad. Lead is tasty. Lead's very tasty, very nutritious.
and for the record, some people are going to be mad about this. The right is getting just as bad.
Yeah, that's because there's a bunch of hysterical pseudo women running around pretending they're right wingers.
Juanita Broderick had pizzas sent to her, which in the grand scheme of things is not that big of a deal, but it's still somebody went out there to find out where she lived and harass her because apparently she's just a grifter.
You're sending an old lady, an old rape victim, a bunch of pizza, you douche. Joe Pags got swatted the other day.
Yeah, there's a right-wing group. They were calling themselves anti-grifter something. And they don't like people who are more popular than them.
Is it run by the Quartering?
No, but I wouldn't be shocked because that's right up his alley.
He was going off about Big Con a few days before all this started. I'm just saying.
That motherfucker better never say the word grifter about anybody on the right wing.
Yeah, the credibility factor would be in the negatives.
Frosted, thank you so much. What are we? Some kind of suicide stroke? Stop it. The suicide stroke. Yeah. Remember when they were all murdered?
I was murdered. Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
It just reminds me of like even after the Rittenhouse trial where people were like, he shot 3 black people.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you be mad about something that you literally don't know what happened?
because they want something to be mad about. They need a righteous cause. That's all it is. There's a hollow place in their heart where daddy didn't hug them enough or hugged them too much, and they have to fill it. And they want, these people crave violence. A lot of them are very disturbed people.
Yeah.
In case you didn't notice.
Oh, speaking of disturbed people, right before the stream, I was sent a Steve Shives video.
That dude's still around?
Yeah, hell yeah. He's talking about a segment on MSNBC, I think it was, with Kevin O'Leary or whatever his name is, the guy from Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he was on there and he got into an argument with somebody who used to be a congressman. I don't know who he is, about cutting the budget. And this guy's like, you can't cut the budget. You can't run the government like a company. Because if you do, kids won't get food. You see?
What?
Yeah, the USDA came out and said they're going to cut $1 billion from the school lunch program because of cuts.
Okay.
For the record, the budget of the USDA is well over $200 billion.
How many of those kids losing their lunch are that sounds funny, are illegal aliens?
That's a good question, isn't it? If
really
we stopped giving the illegal aliens food, how much more would there be for the American kids?
Yeah. I mean, just that simple cut alone. Make it illegal to give illegals anything.
Yep.
But we would save a lot of money. Just ask FEMA.
Yeah, you can't. You just don't understand how you have to run a government. I do understand how you budget.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't know what a budget is because they can just print money. They don't care.
Well, the guy's point is that there's only so much money, right? And so they have to cut food funding for kids. That's their cut. That's what they decided to cut.
Because they knew it would be popular and they might get more money back. Duh. That same thing with Social Security. Anytime somebody tries to go after one of their Democrat golden pieces, they're always like, oh, well, it's going to hurt these innocent people. And instead of cutting bloat, they go after something that'll scare people.
Well, he asked the question, do you know what the number one cause of not learning is?
Being retarded?
No, it's apparently hunger.
You know what? That's bullshit. I was a hungry child. I didn't qualify for free stuff, but I didn't eat lunch quite a lot, actually. And I definitely didn't eat breakfast. Still don't, which might explain a lot. But give me a break. Yeah, some of these kids are poor. You know what? Lots of poor people around the world. Doesn't mean we give them all free shit. I'm sorry.
Well, for the record, there's a lot of politicians who want to give free lunch to all children.
Yeah.
Even rich kids.
Yeah. No, we can't afford that. Stop giving entitlements to people.
But yeah, I'm supposed to feel bad because those assholes are if you believe in school lunch, which I'm not against it, Jack.
No, it should be a charity thing though. Like let the Catholics give money or something to that program. I don't want tax dollars going toward freebies. People get used to it and then they want more. It's never enough.
I hear you, and I understand the slippery slope thing, and I think our government proves that to be true. But I'm okay with making sure kids got lunch in school. I'm okay with that.
I'm still on the fence. I used to be with you on that, but I can't anymore because I've seen how much money is wasted on this stuff.
And that's the point. If you're going to be for it, then you go, okay, where can we cut this? Because this is too important to cut. This part is too important to cut. So what can we cut to bring this spending down? Because right now we are $35 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
We are getting to the point where it's not going to be too long before we owe 10 times the national budget.
Yep.
That's what we owe.
That's not including interest rates and We don't. It's unsustainable, and all the politicians know this. They just want to get theirs before it falls apart.
Something has to be done. We can't keep going like this.
No,
And
Elon's evil for trying to stop it.
the Keynesian bullshit of the government spending money so that the country does well. One, that's only supposed to be in times of serious need, like in a recession. It's not supposed to be constantly. You guys only read half of Keynesian economics.
Though they read the part they wanted.
The nonsensical nature of how we're doing things is going to bring us to ruin.
They don't care. This is a death cult, dude.
Yeah.
Is it suicidal? Not necessarily, but they'll take the death wherever they can get it.
Ask the British how austerity measures feel.
Yeah, you get generations of people hooked on all these freebies. They do not know how to function if you take them away. And they will get violent because they expect it. They are owed these entitlements. You have generations of people that have been on welfare, getting a free ride, free housing, everything free. How do you think they're going to adapt if you just end that program? They don't know how to do anything else. So they, of course, feel owed. And they're angry because you took something away from them that was their God-given right because grandma had it.
Speaking of God, Eldritch God said, "We have the fattest poor people in existence. You've clearly never seen the Ethiopian videos from the 80s. And Rick Ashbringer says, Margaret Thatcher said it. The problem with socialism is that they eventually run out of other people's money. True. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's absolutely true. Real quickly, thank you, Jose. So they're cutting school lunches, air quotes, because the government department that gives food stamps and welfare to illegals is having their budget cut. Fuck all the way off, then keep on fucking. I'm with you, Jose.
How much could we save if no illegals got any entitlements?
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to start cutting the welfare programs to begin with, but illegals should definitely not be getting anything at all, ever. Mm-hmm. And if you're coming to this country and you can't sustain your own life, sorry, you have to go home. If you came here legally and you decide to get on welfare, a lot of people do that. They come here legally on a visa, and then after about 6 months, they get on the welfare program. It's fucking disgusting. And I honestly think all welfare programs should have a time limit. You can only be on social assistance for 6 months, a year, 2 years tops, unless you're disabled or old.
I want to change to something that I like. I just want to shout out this critical drinker video from today that he made on Firefly. Now, I'm sure that people who've never watched Firefly are probably tired of us fans talking about how great it was. But it really was a great show and vastly underrated when it was on the air.
Yeah.
And he did a video today. We didn't know how good we had it. Apparently Mahler finally talked him into watching it. He'd never seen it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
How did you manage to avoid it?
He says that at the time there were many other sci-fi shows on, which there were.
Yeah.
And it just didn't appeal to him at the time. And now that he's watched it, he actually apologizes to Firefly. He's like, it was people like me who are why you went away, and that's our loss.
Yeah.
It is an excellent video going over why Firefly was so good.
Yeah, it really had everything come together. It had good stories, good actors, good direction, even though Joss Whedon is a sex pest, apparently. And the show had a pretty low budget. They made it work.
I think it worked because of its low budget. I think the shows that have had low budgets that have stuck around for a long time, it's because they have to focus on story because they can't have flash.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look at the original Star Trek.
Exactly. Compare Firefly or even the original Star Trek to Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, high budget, god awful sets, terrible acting, bad scripting.
Yeah, look, it's flashy. You want to watch that, right? No,
It's
I
so
want a
hip
good
with the
story.
modern audiences.
Yeah, and that's another thing he brings up in here is that, like, the engineer chick, I always forget her name on the show. She's a genius in engineer, very young lady, probably early 20s. I don't know if they ever said on the show what her real age was, but clearly a young lady and great at keeping the Serenity flying. That's the name of the ship, guys. But in a modern thing, she would be a butch lesbian. And in
Yeah.
this show, she wasn't. She was still very feminine because it was still okay to be feminine back then.
I miss those days.
The male actors got to be masculine.
Yeah, and everybody loved Janestown.
It was a great show. If you guys have never watched it, seriously, you should check it out if you like Kaylee, that's her name. Thank you. If you like sci-fi and you've never seen Firefly, watch it. Do not watch Serenity. That was an insult to the show.
I still liked that movie.
I fucking hate that movie.
That's what most of Firefly people say, but whatever.
It retcons the story.
Yeah.
And
but the story of the show was canceled, so it didn't matter.
I wanted to run something by you.
Oh, no.
Because I am a big fan of Buffy and Angel, but especially season 7 of Buffy was just shit.
Yeah.
And the last episode of Firefly that went out wasn't that good.
Yeah, well, there's always an episode that sucks.
I wonder how much, or if Firefly actually kind of benefits in the long run from us not getting a much longer run.
I think its cult following is going to be incredibly limited over time because it has so few episodes. It has 10 episodes.
I think it's 14, something
14?
like that.
Yeah, it's less than a full season back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in a way that does help it, but it limits its fan base considerably because there's only so much there to work with. Like if you look at Doctor Who, it's got 60 years of TV shows. A lot of them are shit based on which Doctor, especially the newer stuff. But there's going to be a long drawn out amount of stuff that you could draw from for your fandom.
Sure.
There's novelizations, there's original works, there's comics and everything, animated movies, audio dramas. Firefly doesn't have any of that. So it's always going to be this peripheral niche.
It does have novelizations. I was in a bookstore the other day and almost picked up one, and then I remembered I can't see text very well.
Yeah, how many of them are there though? 3 or 5?
I want to say that they had 5 on display.
Yeah, so
yeah,
the TV show V had 14 or 16 novels. All different. They weren't novelizations of the episodes like the A-Team ones were. They were all original. Forever Night had 3. So there's still not enough there. Now, if they got somebody who was a really big novelist I don't know, like Piers Anthony, if he were still, I think he's still alive, to write a couple of big selling, or Timothy Zahn to write a couple of really big selling novels and just keep pumping out books like they did with the Star Wars Extended Universe, they could probably build the fandom, but they don't have that. At most, they have a couple of comic book runs and the 14 episodes of the show.
I think what they should do is find a good game developer and make a game out of it.
I think it'd benefit from a multiplayer.
I wouldn't. I'd go single player so you can control the story better.
Oh yeah.
Multiplayer games just make it too hard to control the story. But you could do a Mass Effect kind of game using Firefly instead. It's a perfect universe for it. You'd have to retcon Serenity because that was horrible. But anyway, so if you guys haven't checked out that, or at the very least, go check out Critical Drinker's video on it because it was really good.
Real quick, thank you, Tyrai. Old Doctor Who stories where 1 out of 4 special effects didn't work, yet the stories were decent.
Yes.
Oh yeah. If you ever read the novelizations of the Doctor Who, so there's like way bigger things going on. There's a third Doctor story where he's supposed to find this flame that's like the flame of life, and if you read the novelization, it's this big pillar of fire. And you look at the show and it's like a Bunsen burner.
Yes.
You're like, really, guys? You're pyrotechnics, one of the cheapest things in all of entertainment to do. And they have this like little sad flame.
Danger says it looks like there's 9 Firefly novels. That sounds about right.
That's better than I expected.
I think we see it in Hollywood today that, and it's been one of the criticisms that's been leveled against, especially like the Marvel movies. They rely so much on special effects.
Yeah.
The second Star Wars prequel, where they're like the entire thing is on green screen. Yeah, pretty, sure. What was this? Do you remember the story of that? Do you remember all the story beats of that?
I remember most of them, but I've seen that one several times.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it like twice.
Yeah.
I remembered story beats of the original Star Wars my entire life. I didn't see it a second time until I was probably in my mid-teens. And I still knew every story beat from it. It was a much cheaper movie to make at the time.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to be said for being innovative with a budget, too.
Yes. And they don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Not the big ones.
Yeah. Look, say what you will about those old Doctor Who episodes and how badly they were budgeted. They were still written really well. Old Star Trek, same thing. Old Star Trek, you go back and look at the names. There are people like Harlan Ellison that were major science fiction writers of the time, writing episodes of that show. And same with Land of the Lost, of all things. People that worked on Star Trek worked on Land of the Lost.
Look at any original Star Trek episode versus Star Trek the Motion Picture. They had a much bigger budget for that, and it was crap. Because so much of it relied on, look how pretty we can make space look.
Yeah, that rainbow effect when they go into warp.
Fuck. Roan, thank you so much. Good morning, Monkey Jack. I hope you guys had a great Karl Marx passing day.
I did.
Did he die today?
Yeah, it was his death day.
Beautiful.
On the 14th. Yeah.
I hope he's burning in hell.
Right on. Thank you, Princess Karina. Yeah, Firefly this, Firefly that. Did Firefly have space herpes like ice pirates? No, it did not.
Another great movie. Don't watch it as a serious movie, but another great movie with a clearly tiny budget.
Yeah, like Star Crash and what was that garbage one with George Papard? Battle Beyond the Stars.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Unfortunately, Senator Mark Kelly is a Navy veteran. I thought he was Air Force because he was an astronaut. Anyway, and is my senator. Never voted for him and don't care if he's an astronaut. Fire many veterans. The whole veteran thing just annoys me. Because now they're like, you can't ever fire a veteran. When has that ever been a thing? Ever. And I do love that Democrats are now pretending they give a shit about veterans. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, they want to raise their army, remember?
All right, moving right along here. I don't want to talk about that. I'm tired of seeing people with that chick who hit the other chick on the track with her baton.
Oh, yeah, that's been a thing. She's being charged, I heard.
Good, because she should be.
Oh, yeah, she actually did it on purpose.
Yeah, and look, somebody I was talking with said, it's blown out of proportion. And to a degree, I agree on that. But it's the reason it became a big thing is typically if you're in track and somebody's doing something, maybe you trip them, maybe you bump them. This chick hauls off and smacks this chick in the head, and the people like it might have been an accident. She accidentally swung it and right at her head, and it accidentally hit her head. That's what you're going with?
Yes.
If this chick came out and said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have reacted that way," she should still be punished for it, Jack. But I'm like, all right, I get it. You had a moment. People have moments. Don't let it happen again. Go pay your debt to society and be done with it. But the people out there who are like, it could be an accident. What the fuck are you talking about? It was clear as day. And her little bullshit, I don't know if you saw her video or her interview she did. It got stuck on her uniform. That's weird because the only time it comes in contact with her is when you hit her in the head with it. You realize she wasn't wearing her uniform on her head.
She has a magnetic plate in her head.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. Fucking incredible, man. But yeah, I don't want to go into a deep dive on it because it just annoys me. Thank you, Tyrai. I'm watching old Avengers, John Steed and Emma Peel episodes, and the stories are entertaining and it feels like watching a time capsule. Though first of these are in black and white. Yeah, I've never watched the Avengers. I actually became aware of the Avengers from Married with Children. There's an episode.
Peel Avengers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's an episode of Married with Children where Al and Jefferson are trying to get a Three Stooges compilation. They saw a thing on the TV like we used to see all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But when they order it, they find out that it's not available, but the Avengers are offered in their place. And at the time, I'd never heard of it. So I thought, the comic books? That is a true story about how I learned what the Avengers are. Anyway, moving along. Property taxes came up today.
I saw some of that.
I want to address just this one question. So should seniors have to pay property tax? No. But only because nobody should have to pay property tax. The government where you live should not be able to take your house for less than a tenth of what it's worth. Jack, if I didn't pay my property tax, let me see. I got to do the math in my head here. My property tax is like 1/40th of the cost of my home. So they could take my whole home and sell it for just that tiny amount, and I get nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep. No, I agree. They should never. Property tax should be a thing. You already bought it. It should be yours. That's the American way, not this pseudo-commie bullshit that we've gotten thanks to the progressive income tax nonsense.
Property tax is a wealth tax. And it's a throwback to vassals in feudal kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And it should not exist.
No, not in this country. No.
Should not be able to take my home over that. It's not private property if you can take it over a tax issue. This is mine. But in reality, it belongs to my county because they can take it if I don't give them money every year. Twice a year, actually. Ain't that some shit?
We live in disturbing times, man.
Yeah, no, property tax needs to go away. It is bad. You can call tax theft all you want. Real tax theft is property tax.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along from that.
While you're doing that, thank you, Evolved Potato. Classic Doctor Who had a budget of about £2,000, which is 35,000 euros in today's money. That's per all they had to pay for everything per episode. All the actors, props, and the staff and editing. I'm amazed everything wasn't paper mache. Yeah, they recycled a lot. So that's why they were always filming out in like rock quarries. Oh, that's an alien world. and on backlot sets. So if like an episode of Sherlock Holmes was done wrapping, they'd just go onto the set and use that real quick as a set for something. I guess they did that a lot with like EastEnders sets. So yeah, I mean, you have to, when you have the budget that small, $2,000 even today, you could make a pretty good YouTube show if you really, really tried. Like you had some people that were willing to work cheap or not for any pay except pizza. Then yeah, you could probably throw something together. You just start calling in favors. You find whatever plastic things with wires you can make light up, and it could be pretty fun. And that's why I think a lot of that did develop a fan base. It was a kid's show, largely.
In chat there, HOAs have been brought up. And the reason that I don't like HOAs and I would never live where there is one. But the difference there is you get a choice on that. You can choose to live in another neighborhood and you're still going to have to pay your property tax on it.
Yeah, I would never ever live in an HOA, no matter how much I like the house.
Nope.
That's a hard no. That is a relationship ending no. Those people are psychotic little tin pot dictators.
I'll have to tell you some stories offline, but the short version is my father-in-law lives where there's an HOA, and he was an active member of it. And I've driven around with him before when he's going on his patrols to make sure everybody's following. And it was insane. They have rules like no cutting down any trees after you buy the property. Like, but what if I need to cut down a tree?
Right?
It's my property. I should be able. That's why I would never. Why would you give somebody that much power over you? I don't understand. I really don't.
Yeah, no shit. It's like you don't. I don't feel abused enough by the government. I want a smaller, more intimate government to directly abuse me. Ridiculous. Real quick though, thank you, Grisella, for the generous donation. Project Shadow Breed has been put on hold. Oh, that's not cool. So I'm going to start working on my story, Cemetery Trees. I have 4 to 5 pages inked already. Would love to hear your input on it. Been working on it for over 25 years. Yeah, dude, I'd love to check it out. We're following each other on X. Just send me some stuff, man. I'd love to look at it. I'm sorry Shadow Breed's been put on hold. I really liked the books you did. Hopefully that gets sorted out, because I was really looking forward to the next issue. And thank you, Wolfgang Deo, chat's asshole. Not quite sure why property tax is bad when it makes the most sense as a tax. The nation is supposed to defend the country, so like the federal government levied the tax, then they could dedicate it to defense. What, veterans are slaves now? No, but property tax is bad because you already paid for the property. It's supposed to be yours. You bought something.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you have to pay taxes on it? And the government is bringing in plenty of money to pay the vets. Plenty of money. They're just choosing to make it look like that's what's attached to it, because they're disingenuous dickbags.
Yeah, property taxes means I never actually own my property. That's why. Thank you, Snubber. A tornado warning passed us. I'm glad to hear it passed. Also, I saw a post saying Jack Dorsey's account was locked on Twitter. I laughed. That is funny.
Isn't Dorsey behind that Blue Sky nonsense?
Is he?
Yeah, I heard somewhere that he was heavily involved in that.
Yeah, no idea. So could not comment on that. Wouldn't shock me though. I mean,
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either.
Okay, it's time to get to the fun stuff.
Ooh, fun stuff.
Our little religious hippie here, that's her name. I'm not calling her that. She has some stuff to say. You men out there, pay attention. If you're a single man, she's going to help you. Whenever I talk to my girlfriends who are looking for a husband and a good father to their future kids, there's always one reoccurring turn off. I'm going with beating women. Oh, no, wait, they like that now.
Serial cheaters.
Man children.
Oh, no.
Men who cosplay, even Lord of the Rings, are obese with Legos, Marvel, Star Wars, basically toys in general. It's the number one consistent complaint I hear from women, not only my friends. Now, I don't know if you caught it at the beginning there, Jack, but my girlfriends who are looking for a husband, so the lonely ones, this is their consistent complaint.
My consistent complaint from my single guy friends is women that are judgmental and nagging.
I don't like men who are men. Why can't I find a good man?
You want somebody that's going to be a good father to your kids, they have to be able to relate to the kids, and that means they have to be a little bit young at heart. They have to be able to have fun with the kids.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get somebody like an accountant that's super boring.
HOA board, thank you. Cutting a tree down may be a no-no. Does your father-in-law's HOA rules mention tannerite? Just saying. I don't know what tannerite is.
Explosives.
And I have no idea if it does or not. I'm assuming don't blow shit up is probably in the penumbra. Thank you. Thank you, Keldrig. In other words, stop having fun. Yeah.
You have to get out there and get a second job and make more money for her, because she needs the 666s, 6-pack abs, 6-figure income, and 6 inches of manhood.
The first one is 6 foot tall, dude.
Whatever.
Yeah. 6-pack abs don't matter. You can be fat as long as you're 6 foot tall.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's still the number of the beast. So don't trust women. They eat apples that snakes tell them to get.
It's funny to me that most of the guys, and I know not you because you're taller than this, but most of the guys who are like, the 666 rule is horrible, are like 5'3". Like, I bet you hate it.
Well, look, first of all, short guys need to get over themselves, okay?
Get a step stool, midget.
Yeah, stop bitching about your height and stop worrying about guys taller than you. Just get out there and make women smile and treat them well, and you'll do fine. I knew a dude that was a literal midget that was slaying puss all the time. Not only was it like a fetish for some chicks, but that dude was funny as shit. He was one of the nicest dudes I ever worked with. Man was a custodian. Great dude, though, and he was always pulling tail. He was real quick-witted. Loved hanging out with that guy. He was a riot.
Women like confidence. It's what they like.
Yeah. Yeah, he went on to get some better job, too.
I don't know if you saw it, but Mark Zuckerberg just was at his wife's 40th birthday party. And he made a complete ass of himself in a nice way. He didn't get drunk or anything. He just... he got somebody's outfit. I forget who it was, like from the Grammys or something. And it's a really ridiculous outfit. And he sang to her on her birthday in front of everybody. Nice. And somebody was like, oh, look at this weirdo. And it was a chick who piped up and like, actually, that's kind of endearing. Women like men who make a fool of themselves for him.
Yeah, because he's doing it for her. He's willing to humiliate himself to make her happy.
You know why women say they like funny men? Because it takes confidence to be funny. It takes confidence to put yourself out there and make a joke. They're not actually responding to the humor part of it. It's the confidence that you show in yourself to be able to make other people laugh. That's what it is.
Yeah, and women like to laugh.
Oh, everybody likes to laugh, but I don't want to bang men.
Well, that's true.
Just saying. Zuck had a wife. He still has a wife. It's not past tense. All right, now this is not going to seem at first very related to the last thing, but I promise you it is. Yeah. What the science says. Now, we talked the other day about the kid who let doctors mutilate him and then ended up likely taking his own life as they pushed hormones and shit on him. This is the APA, the American Psychological Association. APA's organizational assessment and positions are grounded in the best available science. There should be an LOL after that. I'm just saying. Sex is a biological characteristic determined by chromosomes and reproductive anatomy. American Medical Association 2021. And the assertion that only two sexes exist is not scientifically accurate. It's the APA, Jack. It's not scientifically accurate that there's only two sexes. This is what happens when you have a pseudoscience pretending it's science and we treat it like it's one. Psychology, not a science.
It's
not.
Art.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. The fact that these people require medical licenses when you're a psychiatrist, psychologists don't, but psychiatrists have to, is kind of a joke. It's kind of a joke. Especially if you're a man, you are far better off just having an honest friend and talking to them than you are going to a therapist. Because a therapist is going to tell you you're a broken female, even though there's only 800 genders and you could be any one of those. By the way, they're all feminine. You ever notice that even except Buck Angel, even the trans men are feminine?
Oh, yeah.
It's all feminine. And it all comes from our little buddies here at the American Psychological Association and psychologists around the world.
I find it kind of funny when I run into trans men because they're women pretending all the stereotypes of men.
And
like,
can't pull it off.
I gotta be a badass and challenge everybody to a fight.
Yeah, and it'd be like Mike Harlow trying to act manly. No offense to Mike, he is a man, but trying to be like the macho, like him doing an impression of a Tate brother.
Yeah, dressed like a lumberjack.
It just wouldn't come off. He'd look like a lesbian.
Really would.
Now, the reason for me bringing this all up is what we were just talking about a second ago. Psychology is out there to teach you men are broken and you need to be like women. I don't know exactly when that happened, but if you go far enough back, you'll find that psychology did not take off because of men. Yeah, it was done by men at the beginning, but it was women who it resonated with. You know why, Jack? Because it's all about your feelings. It's all about your feelings. And they've actually kind of pushed people away from having a psychologist, if they're good, is a paid friend. It's what they are. They don't have a magic book that tells them how the human mind works and how you need to be. And no science, major scientific, I'm using air quotes here, endeavor has been shown to be more wrong, especially over the last 30 fucking years, than psychology. They have to go back on shit constantly.
Yeah, a good psychologist just listens to you, starts to understand your personality, and then asks you questions about what you're saying. It's called talk therapy. And it can work, but you have to have that relationship. They can't have a preconceived notion of what you are, which is what they're pushing now.
What you need is an honest friend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've mentioned this before. A friend of mine, his wife left him and he was having some suicidal thoughts. And so he took himself to the hospital, thank God. And then after that, they hooked him up with a therapist. And me and him would have conversations and then he'd go talk to her and he'd come back and he'd go, she said everything you said. I'm like, yeah, because I'm an honest friend and she's apparently a good psychologist. that might seem a bit self-serving, but he's still around.
That's the important thing.
Moved on with his life. And yeah, there were times I had to tell him things I knew he didn't want to hear, but that's who I am. You need a real friend and not one that's just going to kiss your butt. That's what I'm talking to men right here because you ladies need that way more than we do. You don't want a friend who's just going to be a yes man for you. You need somebody who tells you when he thinks you're wrong and why. Don't go to Steve Shives because he's an idiot. We're not broken women, okay? And women, you don't have to be like us. You're fine the way you are. I'm so tired of the trying to switch the sexes while telling us that there aren't two sexes. Like you women, you got to be more assertive like men. I'm not a big fan of assertive women. Now, that's not to say you can't speak or anything, but every time I see somebody that's described as an assertive woman, she's just a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you'll like her. She's assertive. She's a strong woman. No, she's not. She's a giant twat waffle.
Yeah.
All right.
She is a unredeeming bitch. Why am I talking to her? Get away from me. You can be strong without doing your worst imitation of Andrew Tate. You're not broken, folks. You're not broken. Don't let them tell you are. Yeah, you might have problems. We all have problems. You're not as alone as you think you are. I promise. Put down your fucking phone and go join a club or something. We need more clubs in this country is what we need right now, Jack. We need more communal gatherings because fuck. What we need to do is every Sunday have a not church. Where people just get together and one guy gets up there and talks about, hey, you should love everybody, and then everybody goes out and has like a feast.
It's like a potluck for atheists.
Yeah. Granola, thank you. Arm around shoulder. How are you? What does that say? Does that say facting?
Hold on, I can switch screens.
How are you facting today? Or I get it instead of how are you feeling today? I got you. I just got on. Yeah, well done. I ruined that entirely. Thank you, Comrade Kitty. Women be more like men, be assertive. Men, you're broken. I'm not getting, or I'm getting mixed signals. Yeah, we talked about that the other day. That is the ideology behind psychology right now, is that men are broken and women should act like men. Wait, what? Huh? I need somebody from the psychology world to help me make that make sense.
Good luck with that.
Be more assertive. No, stop being so assertive. I don't know what Nancy Mace did, but I got to bring this up because and I don't know if it fits with Nancy Mace or not, but I'm starting to see the Republican purity tests.
Oh yeah, they're coming out in force lately,
and that shit needs to stop. All right, just knock it up. I saw MAGA going after Thomas Massey, Representative Massey, because he's like, I'm not supporting this continuing resolution because all we're going to do is keep doing the same shit, because the continuing resolution takes us through September, and it's going to give us time to fix the budget.
No, it's not.
And that's what Massey said.
Yeah.
And Massey is for cutting spending. So all of these people who are out here cheering on Musk for cutting spending are now like, Massey isn't one of the good ones. He's a wolf or a sheep in wolf's clothing, or however that goes. Wolf in sheep clothing.
Massey was against the continuing resolutions under Biden too. He's being consistent.
Well, Trump had tweeted out about him because him and Trump have gone back and forth on whether they like each other.
Yeah.
And since Massey was against this, of course, Trump had to say something about it. And all of the little ball lickers, fuck Massey. You don't even know anything about Massey. Shut the fuck up. You're just doing it because Trump told you to. You are proving that you're the cult that they say you are. I believe in getting rid of all of this spending. So does Massey. Why are you mad at him for it?
Yeah, he's trying to eliminate spending.
The continuing resolution passed. So you're going to drive, because Trump put out a Truth Social where he was offering to get somebody to primary Massey over this. Like,
that's a bit excessive.
Right? I just don't get it. I don't. But
no, I understand why they want the continuing resolution, but it's a terrible idea. They need to start cutting the budget now. Just like they need to start arresting the fucking people that are are leaking information, not even real whistleblowers. And the people that were on Epstein Island, they need to actually start doing something other than talking.
The Epstein Island thing's getting to me too, because the day after all of that went down, the quartering was like, we need to get rid of Pam Bondi.
Yeah. Look, comb your tits, guys. Look, I understand criticizing Pam Bondi for fucking up. She fucked up. It happens. Get over it. But they still do need to release that stuff. They can't sweep that under the rug. We got to hold them to account for that. But it does take time, unfortunately.
Wolfgang, thank you. It would be funny if Trump vetoed the spending bill. It would be, actually.
Yeah. Pass this. Oh, nope. I don't like it. Real quick. Thank you, Furcane Low Pivot. I know this is going to sound messed up, but really something that truly helped me is this. Life has no meaning, and any meaning or feeling you want to have is intrinsic. It's not some wonderful imaginary pony pond or whatever you have. You're needed. I think people do get caught up on, like, I just need that one thing. And really, you just need to keep going. Just put one foot in front of the other and keep on trucking. That life has the meaning you give it. If you don't have some kind of meaning in your life, you're probably pretty lonely and angry.
What's helped me is I enjoy life because I look for the joy in life. It's all around you.
There's a lot of beautiful things out there. Just remember what Harvey Specter said. Nobody cares. Work harder.
Well, as I've said many times, here's the reality of life. You know why you remember all the bad times? Because they're rare. Now, maybe you are the exception to that rule, but they really are very rare. Let's say you're...
they just have a greater impact sometimes.
Not even that, because it's a more immediate impact. You don't often win the lottery, but your car breaks down on occasion. You know what I mean? You don't get that immediate kind of thing with your good stuff. But like today, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm in a lot of pain because I had a great time with my granddaughter today. That pain's going to pass. That memory's not. I'm not going to remember how this felt. I'm going to remember how that felt. The smile on her face. People spend way too much time thinking about how much life sucks, and you see it all over. I don't want to be an adult. Fuck off. I want somebody to give me a bedtime. Fuck you. You realize how good especially if you're in the US. Fuck off. Life is good. You have some bad times. Pay attention to the good shit. You'd be surprised how much is out there if you look at it.
Well, anyway. Another poet philosopher said, life's what you make it, so let's make it rock.
There you go. See, you need a friend like me to tell you to suck it up. There's plenty of good shit around you.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to see it. There's too many nihilists in the world. Trust me, I'm one of them. We don't like you honing in on our turf, so knock it off. Find some joy in your life and hang on to it.
You really want to annoy me on Twitter? Come at me with some nihilistic shit. I have no patience for that crap. None. Anyway,
Monkey, we're all going to die.
Yeah, but not all of us live.
If you do, you're probably an immortal, and that's worry you more because it's going to get real boring.
Don't care about that one or that one.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Tyrai. The continuing resolution makes our office jobs harder because of how money is delivered and how quick those that sent the money want it back when there are future obligations haven't paid out yet. Sign the budget. What? A budget? Oh, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work, dude. Thank you, Tyra.
Monkey, there's a fairly recent Rags video where he BATFOs the "my life is so hard" crap once and for all. I'll have to check that out. I like Rags, and that sounds like right up my alley. Oh my God, I was watching some Moist Critical, and I watched several of them in a row earlier today, and one of them was about this dude who went to a streamer's house. So he was a fan of this female booby streamer.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And he was a
Don't
donor.
go to strange women's houses.
He was a donor to her, and then she let it slip that she had a boyfriend, and it broke him. So he goes to her.
Was he gonna go murder her and wear her face as a mask while he does his kooky dance?
He didn't kill her, thank God. He instead ignited an incendiary device on the hood of her car.
Well, that's not crazy at all.
And then parked 2 blocks away and went to sleep in his car. It's an astounding. This apparently happened a year ago,
very
but
stable.
I think we picked up a little delay. Sorry, guys. Anyway, he did this a year ago, but the body cam was just released. And so you got to know this to begin with. She's a pretty decent earning streamer. So she has a lot of bells and whistles at her house, like cameras. And she lives in a nice neighborhood. So her fellow neighbors have cameras. So this idiot goes up to her house wearing a COVID mask and a baseball cap. And when he parks his car, he only has the mask. And we know this because they asked him if they could search his car, and he says, "Yeah." By the way, wrong answer.
Yeah. Do you have a warrant?
So they search his car and they find the mask, but not the hat. They do some searching around, Jack. And by searching around, I mean they walk 10 feet from his car into the tree line where they find several bags that look like Walmart bags have been tied up, which has the hat in it. He's still wearing the same clothes. Wow. This happens at about 2:30 in the morning, and when they ask him what he's doing, he said he got there around midnight. He just got off the plane. He drove 40 miles. He's there to see a friend, you see. A friend who lives in Cincinnati but works in this area. You were coming to see him at midnight. All right. I'm not saying that can never happen, Jack, but typically you don't have your friends like, "Yeah, come on down. I'm going to be at work. I know you got to take a plane to get here, but you come on down and just come hang out for a little bit in the middle of the fucking night." Anyway, he tells him he got there at midnight. Well, as I mentioned, her neighbors have cameras. They have him pulling up about 10 minutes after the fire started. And he's like, I don't know. So they go and they find this hat and they ask him about that. And his answer, and I'm not making this up, this is 3:00 in the morning. "I saw some kids walking around." Like, you're wearing the same clothes as the guy in the video. That's weird. Like, yeah, that is
hair
weird.
Follicles were inside this hat.
Needless to say, he's in prison now. They had him dead to rights. Why wouldn't you drive home? He went, forget how long it was, but several hundred miles, Jack. This wasn't like down the street from his house.
He was tired.
This is hundreds of miles from his. Just drive home. They had no idea who you were. They didn't get the like. Look, I'm not trying to give criminals any help here, but why would you? The only reason to stop there is hoping that it would burn down and beat off to it. I just don't understand people.
I don't know. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. A great song I listen to when I'm feeling down is I Won't Back Down, sung by Sam Elliott. Such a great voice for that type of song. Nice. I've not heard that one. And thank you, Keldrick. Streamer simps aren't the brightest bunch. No criminal masterminds there.
True.
Yeah, that does explain a lot, actually.
Is that Sam Elliott doing the Tom Petty? I Won't Back Down?
I would love to hear that if that's the case.
Huh. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about this guy for him. That's just, comedy of errors. Thank God nobody got hurt. Destroyed their car, man. It was the hood of that thing went up.
Cars could be replaced, though.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the booby streamer. I get it. I understand that it's very lucrative to lead these guys on like that. And I'm not victim blaming. I'm warning. It's kind of like when you tell a woman you should carry a gun because rape happens. Don't tease these guys. They'll still throw money at you if you tell them if you're upfront about having a man. They'll just think, hey, maybe I can be next. When that finally falls apart, maybe I'll be next.
Yep.
And again, I'm not doing this to victim blame. I don't want to see any of these women get killed. This man drove hundreds of miles to set her car on fire.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because he had this pseudo relationship in his mind because he threw some money at her once in a while and thought, I bet she'll let me see them titties. And turned out she had a boyfriend. Stop cock teasing these guys.
Did you see what happened to Amaranth the other day?
I was going to say a whole bunch of horrible things that I was hoping it was, but no, what?
Some people tried to break into her house and she shot at one of them.
I'm going to go on record now and say I think that's set up.
It might be. I don't know. The police did respond to the situation. So if it's fake, it's a dumb idea. But yeah, these titty streamers, man, they're setting themselves up if they're not careful. There's a lot of crazy people out there.
Yeah, and be careful. Just let them know from the beginning. They'll still look at your boobies. They like
absolutely.
boobies.
Yeah.
Don't tease crazy people. These are guys, look, you're not that interesting. I've watched some titty streamers. You're not at all interesting. They're only there because they can almost see your nipple.
Yeah.
They're still going to watch.
Chicks are they're really dumb.
Yeah. And I don't want to see them get hurt. Seriously. In all seriousness, stop teasing them like that. It's not a good idea.
What's the name of that one chick that the cute little Asian that always has like the date me for 20 minutes kind of thing?
Cutie bot.
Yeah. See, she's got a boyfriend. She mentions him occasionally on there.
Yeah.
And she still rakes in tons of money. And she is about as bright as a toaster oven.
Imagine paying to see boobs on the internet. Well, here's the thing. They're not, these guys aren't paying to see boobs. They're paying because they see boobs. It's a slight difference.
It's sort of like trying to buy affection.
And not even actually seeing the boobs. I'd at least understand it a little bit more if you got to see the actual boobs. Amaranth question. Amaranth is a horrible whore not on Twitch anymore. She actually moved over to OnlyFans, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
I think she still does some other streaming, but not as much as she used to. She's a chick we used to talk about who totally didn't break Twitch guidelines by dry humping a giant pickle in a hot tub in her bedroom because, hey, as long as you could wear a bathing suit as long as it made sense in the situation. So she put a fucking hot tub in her bedroom so she could wear skimpy little bikinis and masturbate in front of people on a giant pickle. and she
Yeah.
became very, very wealthy doing it.
Yep.
And then when that started to die down, she got all the little simp bitches out there. I called that shit out from the beginning. Remember her? My boyfriend was mean to me. He's going to hurt me. He's going to beat me up. It was all fake. It was all fake. And it's
Of course.
basically been proven now that it was all fake, and nobody has said shit about it. Because how dare you question a woman, Jack?
Right? Especially an honorable one like her.
Yeah. Only honorable women ride giant pickles in their bikini in their bedroom in a hot tub while writing the names of large donors across their skin.
It's the modern equivalent of Lady Godiva upon her horse.
Yes.
She is merely on her steed, my lady, my fair lady.
I have never seen so many dudes run to the defense of a clear lying whore the way they did with Amaranth.
Oh, the white knighting was out of control.
Speaking of that, Ethan Klein was one of those who did that, and him and Hassan, wow.
Are they in love again?
They're still fighting, and some people in Hassan's audience, allegedly, called CPS on Ethan, and
What?
yeah, because that's how the left acts.
It's fucked up.
Called
That's really out of line, even as much as I hate Ethan.
Yeah. I don't like Ethan at all, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
Thank you, Roan. You ain't joking, Jack. A female streamer in Japan was recently attacked and deleted from life. Ah, fuck. That sucks.
Yeah. Oh, man. You find a repressed culture like the Japanese where they have a lot of like strict moral guidelines and shit gets weird real fast. That's tragic, man.
And seriously, women, when we tell you this stuff, it's not so, hey, you can't be you. If you want to do it, fine. Just understand the risk.
Yeah.
Because it is a risk.
Well, and the Japanese culture is really weird about that stuff because they have what are called idols, and they're basically softcore porn stars.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
of them are hardcore porn stars, but it's a whole subculture. Like they do videos and photo books and Instagram stuff like that. I follow a couple of them on Twitter because they're funny and it's smoking hot. But the subculture, they have meet and greets where you could go meet these people and get their autograph and get like unique Polaroid photos signed by them, things like that. It's an entire subculture of fandom that we don't have here. It's not like any fandom here in the States, but it's a great way to get killed too, because they're literally doing these small conventions basically with like 20 or 30, maybe 50 people signing autographs, and shit could go sideways real fast. So they always have to have security there and be very careful about mentioning what district they live in. It's really a strange setup. So a girl getting killed like that is really sad. I remember.
Hang on one second. Hold your thought. Don't forget what you just said. But there's an update to the story over here. Mofo's telling us. Supposedly she owed him lots of money and they knew each other in real life.
Oh.
So that does make it a little different. I just wanted to point that out, but you were saying.
Yeah, a lot of stuff over there is run almost like a cartel. So like I think it was AKB48, one of their subgroups was out doing a meet and greet, and somebody threw acid on several of them. This was like 10 years ago. You can look it up. But it disfigured one or two of them. They dropped out of the band. And it was just some rabid fan who loved them so much. So it's a very bizarre, unique thing over there, and there's a lot of underworld activity, a lot of compelled prostitution, where a lot of these performers are effectively pimped out by their managers to other people in like the TV industry or the record industry, that sort of thing. It's very, very bizarre, but it's an interesting thing. There's a couple documentaries on YouTube about it.
Well, remember the chick on the show, My Sister Sam?
Oh yeah.
She got killed by a rabid fan, and she wasn't even like a booby streamer teasing.
No, she was pretty.
These guys, this isn't something where you can just be like, no, men need to be better. These aren't men, they're lunatics.
Yeah.
There's no
Remember
getting through.
The chick that killed that singer Selena?
Yeah.
Who was the president of her fan club. It was a woman who was the president of her fan club. That chick was fucking nuts too. So yeah, I mean, that threat exists no matter what kind of celebrity you are. I just think it's a little creepier in Japan because they have all this weird subculture around it.
I was just going back to the theme of the booby streamers who are teasing these guys. I get it. It makes you a lot of money, but if you're gonna do that, at least take some precautions. Having a camera outside your home, if that guy would have put that close to her house instead of on her car, she'd have lost her house and possibly her life because she was in the house at the time.
Yeah.
She's lucky he was only half psycho.
Yeah, he was lazy psycho.
You need like a fucking paid bodyguard if you're going to be doing that shit.
Yeah. You have to be real careful of how you approach things in life because you don't know what kind of we don't lock crazies up anymore. So you have to be careful how you approach people.
There's a lot of weirdos out there, and baiting them probably not the best idea.
Yeah, and trying to like lure them with your sexy goods. I mean, they might be sexed up and retard strong. You don't know. You don't know what kind of weird hard on you're giving this creeper.
Yeah, and to the dudes out there who, I don't want to put this nicely, think that like she deserved it. She didn't deserve this. That guy's a fucking lunatic. The whole point isn't that she deserved it. It's that I want her to be smarter in the future and protect herself.
Yeah, you may not approve of what she does, but that doesn't mean she should be attacked for it.
No. But understand it is a thing that can happen to you, and prepare as best you can.
Yeah.
One of the funniest arguments I have is when women are like, men don't have to protect themselves the way we have to. Yeah, we do. Men get attacked more than women do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
By a lot. It's not even close. All of the little things we tell you guys to do is because we do them. That's how you keep yourself safe. And you're smaller than us, so you have to work, and unless you are Mike Harlow. Sorry, dude, you're tiny. You need
shit on Mike Harlow today, apparently.
I'm not shitting on him. I love Mike. But he is a skinny little guy, so if a big guy comes after him, he's fucked. He need to be.
He might like that. I don't know.
Depends on the guy, I suppose. But protecting yourself is something we all have to do. And it's not as easy as just going, men need to be nicer. You can't put that on all men. I watch a lot of the murder porn. I've seen a ton of women kill dudes.
Oh, yeah. The Wives with Knives is a whole series.
I don't put that on all women. And
I do.
And occasionally I do think they might be justified.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'd like, that's not how you should have handled it, but I certainly get it. Chauncey, thanks so much. It's my birthday. Can I get a song? Sure. Bumbadee bumbadee. No, you want
to.
Chauncey. Sorry, this one is for you, my friend. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Chauncey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chauncey. I hope you had a good one. I really, really do. I like the name Chauncey because it sounds both posh English and still kind of masculine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like Ian. Ian sounds like he was born with a wiener up his butt. You know what I mean? Sounds like a gay British guy. No offense if there's any Ians in the audience.
Jesus.
But you really should change your name to Chauncey. That's all I'm saying. These are the kind of things that make people not talk to me.
Yeah, especially people named Ian.
I've only known
real
one
quickly.
Ian in my entire life, and I fucking hated him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Wolfgang Deo. Japan was odd. So I speak fluent Japanese. Ha! Sucker. That's a hard language. I was just going to help give easy money to the gals at snacks and also help them find new ways to get money while learning safely. Uh-huh. The snack owners took me for late night fun. I think they were trying to prostitute the 24-year-old. Look, it's not prostitution. It's just making money off of your no-nos. Yeah, I got nothing. It's total prostitution. But just be safe and have a good time.
Toby says, statistically speaking, little irony in the way that came out, men named Ian are usually gay. That makes sense. I think Ian probably means gay in Latin or something. Seriously, change your name to Chauncey. Chauncey's a better name.
It is a lot cooler name. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I wish I had a name like Chauncey. I got Francis. Talk about a gay name. These things happen. What is this video, Jack?
Oh, nothing. Just a little something.
All right.
Smart woman.
So this one's not going to get us in trouble. They're in bathing suits. All right.
Okay, so we were talking about the space-time continuum, and Aaron had a really great philosophy for why things always feel the same and we're so boring and mundane.
Can't wait to hear it. I can tell by the way you're talking that you're all very smart.
They're very super smart, monkey.
When I hear somebody doing the voice I use for stupid people and they're using it as their normal voice, I automatically judge them.
As you should.
Thank you, Wolfgang. I was actually a bit low on money and happened to have impressed the owners. I had already gotten her number and was shocked to meet me with them. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Thank you, Darth Mondo, for becoming a member for month number 16. Just woke up to pee. Just reminds me of Always Sunny. Am I peeing right now?
Yeah.
Thank you, Darth. Just woke up to pee. Don't make me clap some cheeks. Now back to sleep. Love you all. No homo. Have a good night, my friend.
Yeah, have a good night, Mando.
Time is not linear, so we don't really have free choice.
Jack decided we should end this on a retard note.
I keep telling you they don't believe in linear time. Here's the evidence.
Time is not linear.
That Asian chick is so cute.
Oh man.
Or free will, because everything that has already happened and you've already made that choice. Because you know how when you're like moving at light speed, time slows down.
I hate it when I'm moving at light speed and everything slows down. Wow, Monkey made it 2 seconds. Yeah, I was shocked too, dude.
All right.
Yeah, see, without linear time, no free will.
So like time isn't linear. It's just linear in our heads because everything that has occurred has been in a cycle of occurrence.
But nothing's
like
our
nothing.
fault.
No,
Yeah,
but then nothing.
It's a circle.
I hope they've been smoking copious amounts of weed because then at least it'd make a little sense.
Only to them, but
well, it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, it's a cliche for a reason. Like, wow, man. Yeah, I mean, if they're high, all right, maybe. But I don't think they are. I think they're just dumb.
Yeah, look, dumb people are like being perpetually stoned. You know, they have the same kind of like childlike wonderment of the universe around them.
Oh my God.
You're
These people
welcome.
probably have driver's licenses.
Yeah. They probably have children by now. I don't know.
Things new.
Yeah, nothing is new.
The question is, how do you break free of the cycle and make different choices?
Yeah.
Well, by your own reasoning, you can't.
Oh man.
Your own reasoning. She just told you have no.
Well, there is a way to
will.
break it. No, there is a way to break a time loop. You memorize the things that happen so you can repeat them before they happen and break the loop. I watch a lot of science fiction. It's really sad that I know that. Real quick though, go ahead.
That's fine in a sci-fi show where the person is aware of what's coming, but even in their telling, they're not, so you can't.
Yeah, well, I'm smarter than these people, and I'm saying there's got to be a way.
This empty candle holder in front of me is smarter than them.
Let me grab a couple of things here. Thank you, Keldrick. Every time someone says something like this, they use it to justify something awful, stupid, or both. I'm guessing it's all the above, and it's probably going to be something slutty. Like, one of these chicks banged another one's boyfriend, and it's probably that chick in black. And thank you, Frosted Glass. Next time I'm told we need more women in STEM, I'm showing them this video. Also, I can't wait for psychiatrists, guys named Ian and Mike Harlow, to form a Legion of Doom dedicated to bringing down Monkey.
Mike loves me. He would laugh at what I was saying.
Yeah, Mike's hilarious. I like him.
All right. I don't want to hit play.
Is that possible?
Is it free will?
But is it free will?
This makes me want to be so impulsive. I'm not even fucking kidding. When she said that, I was like, I'm going to get run over by a car right now.
Oh my God. Your impulse to break the time loop is get hit by a car.
Yeah, not like I'm going to eat a Pop-Tart. No, or I'm going to put on a silly hat. No, I'm going to get hit by a car? What the fuck, man?
I'm feeling so impulsive. I'm going to get myself killed.
See, this is the same problem I have with the Matrix, too. When he offers you, do you want this red pill or this blue pill? Dude, I'm not taking any pills from you, strange guy in sunglasses in a house. No. Why don't you give me a choice of put on this blue jacket or this red jacket? That's more likely to happen. Just same mentality. Like, I'm gonna get hit by a truck. What? That's a little overkill there, cutie. You're lucky you're pretty.
You know what I don't understand about the Matrix movies?
The second and third one made no damn sense.
Actually, I thought they made as much sense as the first one. I know that's sacrilege to people who love the first one. I liked all of them. They were fine. But you're in your little pod, you're living your fake life, and it's a fine life. And they're offering, hey, we're going to take you out of there and you can have this really shitty life. If I'm being honest, I probably would take the blue pill. I'd be like, I want to go back to my fake wife and kids. If somebody woke me up right now, and went, Monkey, hey, everything you know is just a dream. You could come here and live in squalor in this horrible fucking post-apocalyptic alien hellhole. You want to do that?
Nah.
No, put me back. What the fuck is wrong with you? I didn't know it was an issue.
I'd like to forget about it now, too.
Right? Hey, come live in the hellhole with us. It was warm in there. Put me back. Anyway.
And then Aaron goes, that's exactly what your cycle would say, you would say. And I was like, hey, you're right. There's no breaking free of who we are. Okay, everybody go around and say what you think your cycle is.
I bet they all cycle together.
Yeah. These are people understanding the meaning of the word fate for the first time.
Well, thinking they understand it.
Everybody tell me what you think your cycle is. We were destined to do this.
This is what happens when chicks are all hopped up on their pumpkin spice.
At first, it was really innocent and cutesy, and then it was like really fucked up and abusive. And now I'm like going more into, I think, my secure.
Sweetie, she didn't ask you what you've been through. She asked you what you think the cycle is.
This is cycle being a bitch.
You don't have to repeat the parts you've already been through. Oh my God. This is like going to a fortune teller who tells you what you had for dinner last night.
Oh my God, she's so wise.
Confident era. I think I just keep finding new life purposes, and then I get bored. It's on like a 2 to 3 year cycle.
I want to take back any credit I gave them for understanding what fate meant, because fuck.
I tried warning you. It's sort of like that scene. Did you ever see Dude, Where's My Car?
No, I find Ashton Kutcher to be unbearable.
Yeah, it's actually a fairly fun movie in a lot of parts. But Sean William Scott at one point was watching a documentary about monkeys learning how to use tools. And then later on that he flashes back to that and learns something from it. And it's an obvious revelation. That's sort of like what we're seeing here. They heard one of them heard a concept, tried to explain it horribly to the others, and now it's all just completely butchered, and now it's just here for our amusement.
Katie's on my level. She said, can they just kiss already? Right?
That's what I had hoped. Look, I see a hot Asian in a hot tub. Why do you think I watched this video?
Wolfgang, thank you. Jack, this one is ugly, bad taste in Asians. She's not ugly. What are you talking about?
She's not ugly. She's not hottest. She's not like a K-pop superstar or anything like that. But I'd smash. You know why? She's skinny. And thank you, Johnny Hellcat. This is the legally blonde version of theoretical physics. Just put two in the back of my head, please. Maybe that's what happened to Vince Foster. He saw this video.
No, it was destiny.
Ugh.
All right.
Oh, hang on. Thank you, just another guy, for the incredibly generous donation. These women are just bound by their perfect mental state and will hear nothing else to the contrary. Half the monkey. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I will get that to him.
Aaron said my cycle was erratic.
Yeah,
that's probably
yours is erratic. Yours is kind of consistent. Then it's just.
These are the smartest people they know. Yeah, it's erratic.
It's consistently erratic, I suppose.
It's consistent. Yeah, erratic at the same time. You're just so unpredictable, Betty. Oh my God. You are so quirky. You are just a quirky girl. Ugh.
We have 2 seconds to go. Let's see if I can make it.
Yeah, it's more consistent.
I made it to the end. Yeah, it's erratic. Yeah, it's more consistent. Oh.
It's erratically consistent. Oh my God. Erratically consistent would make a good synth metal band from like the 80s with a bunch of chicks thinking they're emo.
You know, I was
sorry, Eagle.
I was fucking around with Grok the other day, and somehow we got to it describing my personality. And it said, you don't mind jokes, you like jokes actually, but when it comes to serious stuff, you just want things to be logical. I'm like, damn, pretty spot on. Not bad. And what we just watched is like the polar opposite
Stalking
of
you.
anything that my brain can take. I've said before, you can't argue against fate because that just means that you were fated to argue against it. And
Yeah.
it's not a very valuable conversation to have because there's no point at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, predestination is uninteresting.
Yeah. Well, again, because there's literally no way to argue against it. It takes that bullet out of the gun. However, there's intelligent ways to have that conversation, and then there's what we just watched.
Yeah, but it's a loop, monkey.
Yeah, I was destined to watch that. I'm being punished for karma somewhere.
Yeah, and we're gonna watch it again throughout eternity, like Sisyphus.
Over and over and over. We're gonna have to sit through that goddamn video. What I like about it is that they had the confidence to put that online. Why are dumb people the most confident people?
Because they don't know any better. Aha! Wow. It be silly. Said, I finally understand what Jack means when he says tiny girl brains. I have awoken somebody else to the truth.
There's smart women out there, I promise, guys. They're all in our audience right now. Most of them, a lot of them. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up there, guys. I got to go deal with my midget wife. So, Jack, the other day I played Crusader Kings 3, and it was a horrible stream. Kept having technical issues, and finally had to stop it when my internet just flat fucking cut out.
Oh, that's so good.
Right as I realized my new wife was a midget. I was so bummed out. I was about to have so much fun.
Is there an animation feature that shows her running?
No, unfortunately, but I can picture it in my head.
Oh.
So I'm going to go breed my new midget wife. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a video. As always, thank you so much, guys, for coming out and watching the show with us. Thank you for all the support you give us, whether it's just being here, hitting the like button, share it on your social media, or giving us money. It doesn't matter. We appreciate all of it.
True.
Please keep giving us money. You guys are awesome.
All right, we're going to wrap it up quick. So, Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I've been working on the railroad.